signs of war. In 1857, Harriet went south again to bring her parents north. It seemed impossible because Ben and Rit were so old. They couldn't walk far, but for Harriet, nothing was impossible. She believed that God would help her to do it. She got to Ben and Rit's house one night and told them she was taking them to Canada. She went out and stole an old horse that no one was using. She found some old pieces of a wagon and put them together. She harnessed the horse to the wagon. She got her father and mother into the wagon, and she drove them all night to another town and put them on a train to Wilmington. Then Harriet drove the wagon to Wilmington and met her parents there at the home of Thomas Garrett. Garrett welcomed Harriet and her parents. He gave them the money for the train to Canada and sent them on their way. By the time that Harriet saved her parents, people could see that a civil war between the North and South was going to happen soon. It was clear that the North and the South could not agree about slavery. Harriet Tubman met the people in the North who were leading the fight to end slavery. She went to Boston and other cities to give speeches about slavery. She was a good speaker, and she had many stories to tell. People wanted to hear her talk about the Underground Railroad. Harriet kept bringing more slaves north. In 1858, she met a man called John Brown. John Brown and his sons were white men from the North. They wanted to fight slavery with guns. John decided to attack a U.S. arsenal in Virginia. An arsenal is a place where the Army keeps guns and bullets and other weapons. John Brown wanted to get the guns and to give them to people who would join his fight against slavery. Harriet Tubman got to be friends with John Brown. She helped him make his plans, and she went around the North getting blacks and whites to support him. Harriet couldn't read or write, but she was a strong leader. She was good at getting people to listen, and she never gave up. She was such a strong leader that John Brown called her the General. In 1859, John Brown and his men attacked the arsenal, but they lost the fight against the U.S. soldiers. Most of John's men were killed, and later he was hanged. John Brown's attack on the arsenal made white people in the South angry. They thought that he was the devil. In the North, some people thought that Brown was a great hero, but other people were upset by what he had done. There were riots all over the country about John Brown. Leaders in the North who were against slavery had to be careful to stay out of trouble. John Brown was tried and hanged. After that, Harriet Tubman always said that he had been her best friend. She She felt that John Brown was a greater man than Abraham Lincoln because John Brown had given his own life to free the slaves.